Stay tuned for Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, a leading financial retirement strategist and the founder of Soutas Financial and Insurance Solutions, right here in Fresno. Every week, Dale discusses pressing financial topics of the week, ranging from reliable income strategies to our financial markets, including Social Security, tax strategies, wealth management, RMDs, legacy planning, long-term care solutions, and most importantly, how to make sure you have enough guaranteed lifetime income to retire your way with choice and dignity. From taxes to trends to total transparency, Dale covers it all. And now, here is Retire Your Way and Dale Soutas. This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial right here in California. Every single week coming to you with retirement planning, income planning, tax planning, estate planning strategies. The applause is actually for me, Dale. I was out last week, so that was for me.
We were applauding last week.
Everybody was glad that I am back now in the studio. How you doing last week? Were you glad to be off with me for a week?
No, it's fine. It's we have kind of a rapport, so it was different, and probably ones will notice it. A little difference, but no, it's nice to.
I appreciate you sitting in with a guest.
Help.
It's just your commitment to education. I want to make sure we had somebody there for you. But Dale, you and I have a unique relationship. There's no replacing
Very
us.
unique.
There's no replacing us, buddy. A lot of things going on. We've got, once again, fourth year in a row, this one space in the financial services, record-breaking sales in this tool. I'm going to bring that up in a little bit. Also, longevity planning. The finish line is not 65 or 66. The finish line is not getting through your working years and going, okay, I'm done. We want to have a long, wonderful, healthy, and purposeful retirement and what that can look like and the kinds of things we want to plan for, ways that technologies and so forth are helping us enjoy our retirement, different from decades ago. So we'll discuss that as well. First of all, though, you and your live events, I know that you've been doing them, I believe, generally speaking, it's about the first week of every month. But go to the website, soutas.com, folks. That's SOUTAS.com. What are people asking you about currently? Is it, we just got through tax season. So what is it right now? Is it taxes still? Is it the ups and downs of the market? What are people talking to you about at live events?
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of times they're asking about Social Security, how to, when to start it. Some are asking about their retirement accounts. When do I have to start taking money out? More and more, because we talk it up and are even probably on our website about, converting, getting Uncle Sam out of some of that tax deferred money. So there's a variety of questions. People come in on to the workshops. It's just nice. A lot of times they want to come and just kind of see who they might be talking to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to commit to an appointment at the office, and they can get a good overview of a lot of different retirement topics. We're not going to go into specifics. I mean, part of what we point out at the workshop is that you're going to have questions. And sometimes as you think of this question, we cover the answer, but it might be very unique to you. But if you raise your hand and ask this very, specific question about your circumstance, you're not going to want to give me all the answers I need in front of everybody else for me to give you a proper answer.
It is so. I mean, no matter what it might be, when is the best time to take Social Security, or what do what do you think about this word annuity? Is it good for me? And then you say, well, look, before I can answer questions, I have to ask you some things out loud in front of a group of 50 people. How old are you? What is your health? Have you ever had any health scares? And you're like, whoa, I just wanted the answer to my question. Say, it's very personal.
Well, I got this one question. But it's like you go to a seminar with doctors and you say, well, I have a question about this. And the doctor's going to probably want to ask all about, what kind of symptoms you have. You're probably not going to talk about, you have this problem or that problem in front of everybody. Yeah. But basically, your finances are personal. We keep it personal. That's why we do the, no cost consultations, no obligation. Keep your checkbooks at home.
I want to ask you a little bit about that as well, because today's world, you can go on the internet and look up some of the other answers for your questions that you might have. But again, it's not personalized. There's, I think, a big factor today that might even be different than 20 or 30 years ago. And that's literally getting somebody to come into your office. Like, the steps from listening to a radio show to maybe
Mhm.
picking up the phone to sticking with your appointment and driving into somewhere and sitting down in front of somebody. What do you think are one of the bigger factors, or what do you think some of the reasons are that hold people off? Because like you said, you'll do no cost meeting. We're going to dedicate everything to what's on their mind with your background and experience so you know what to ask. But what keeps people from coming in?
Good question. And let's open that up further because we're heard up and down, major parts of California
Mhm.
out to the coast. I just had somebody recently out of Prunedale, out near Salinas, called for his appointment to review their situation. So it could be a telephone call. It could be a Zoom meeting where you still get scared by seeing my face. I mean, to see us. Um, or in person, okay? In person, I love in person because you really get to, see each other, but that's not mandatory. But I had somebody recently point out, and I've always known this is the thing. Why are we hesitant about going to see someone like myself? It's well, it's a trust matter.
Mm,
Or are they going to be pushing something on me to buy, or they're going to try to sell me on something? Um, and
yeah.
really, like we were talking about earlier, you come in on your first visit. No, it's just to get acquainted, to see where you're at, what your questions, concerns, priorities, your goals in retirement, things of that sort. And maybe gather some info, maybe give you a little bit of homework education, financial education too. And then even on our next appointment, where we can give you a rough draft of your retirement income plan, there's no decisions that need to be made there. The rough draft meaning, I'm going to show you, here's based on what you told me you want to do, what you want to spend with the income assets you have. Here's how your, income plan projects out to age 100. Typically, is how far out we put it. Um, and we could tweak it. That's why it's a rough draft. You might say, well, what if we do this different, or we do this, or we spend more here or less there? I had once recently, we get it all dialed in, it was looking really good, and say, oh, I forgot, I'm going to be doing remodeling of our home over the next few years, probably going to spend 100,000. Well, I need to build that into your plan because that's going to, where's that going to come from? So, and that's okay. But there's even after that, no matter how much you love the plan and you love us, I'm not going to ask people to make a decision at that point. I'm going to share with you what types of tools, but you need to know how they work, how we get paid from using these different types of tools to make a decision whether you want to work with us or not. So it's not a, sorry, I'm not going to make you sit down with the financial guide to decide today to buy that car or buy this plan. So
Yeah.
no
Okay.
pressure,
Oh, well,
no pressure.
that's a good point. That's a good point. It's not like going to the car dealership, and they're hopefully trying to hit their sales numbers for the day or something like that. This is you calling into the phone number, you setting up a time, you going to the website and scheduling your own time, whatever it might be. Is just setting up a time for you to have a conversation with Dale, who's been doing this for a little over 4 decades. You, in fact, have been now getting the employ of other folks in your office to actually start to help you. You've got so many people coming in now from California that we're getting a little bit of help on kind of the intake and finding out the information. And now we're able to actually pinpoint. So you're able to kind of come in and really focus on what needs to be done, perhaps in a second meeting or a third meeting, whatever it might be.
Hmm.
But most of all, folks, we realize that trust is not built in a 15-minute conversation. Rapport and feeling comfortable with someone, this happens over time. Have you ever been into a doctor's office and you felt like, oh my gosh, these people, they're not hearing me? They asked me a handful of quick questions. They came into the appointment 30 minutes late. They seem to be in a rush to get out to go get to the next person. Or have you ever had the experience where you feel like they're really hearing you? They continue to, do you have any other questions? what kind of experience have you had? There's a difference between a transaction and a relationship. Dale and his team are setting up hopefully a relationship through the next, however long it might be, Dale. What, 20 years, 25 years, however long retirement might be, correct?
Oh, yeah, we have families that we've known forever, kind of. Yeah, I've got a lot of little ladies work together with her and them and their husbands. Unfortunately, some of the husbands are gone, and so the little ladies, we take them by the hand still through whatever questions that come up. And it might be questions that are totally unrelated to financial planning, like, they're looking at maybe get a new car. I've had even ones where they need to get their car serviced, and they feel like they're kind of getting taken advantage of. And so, there's ones we know that, take care of people properly, where I'd send my mom, my wife, my daughters, anybody, without worrying about whether they'd be taken advantage or not. In other words, there's many things that we can do and help, or that we do. We treat people like, we've adopted them. They're part of the family.
Exactly. Folks, is your financial representative, you feel like you're part of a transaction, or is it a relationship? Is it a two-way street? Is it somebody you feel comfortable sharing what's on your mind? It's not just about the investments, gains, or occasional losses. It's, does everything in your life with a dollar sign fit together? If you would like to know what that relationship could feel like for you, call the phone number. There's no cost to sit down with Dale and his team. There's no cost to set up a phone call if you prefer, if you're further away in California. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or if you want, you can go to the website. You can schedule a time right there. That's Soutas.com, Soutas.com. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Are you worried about taxes eating into your retirement savings? By engaging in savvy tax planning, you might be able to create greater tax efficiency in your retirement plan. At Soutas Financial, our team of retirement planning specialists can help you explore tax-deferred and tax-free investment options, as well as strategies to help potentially minimize your tax burden in retirement. Don't let taxes derail your retirement plans. Let us help you create a tax-efficient financial plan and work towards maximizing your savings and minimizing your taxes. Call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and the team at Soutas Financial today to learn more about our tax planning solutions. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Wanted to remind our listeners as well, we talked about Dale doing live events where you can come and listen to what's on his mind, but ask your questions. Events are listed as far as dates on the website as well. Soutas.com, Soutas.com. Click on the events tab. You'll be able to see the dates right there. And then give us a call. Schedule a time. Make sure you come in. Bring a whole party. Bring your neighborhood with you. We want to pack the bring the neighborhood.
The whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have a beautiful venue at Fresno State. It's a I don't know how you describe it, but it's like
the extra large auditorium, right? It seats about 1,000. About 1,000.
No. We can pack in maybe up to 45. Makes it cozy. Sometimes we don't have very many people there. That's okay. It's even cozier. But it's a nice setup with technology that works very well. We get a variety of people who come just to get familiar with us.
Yeah,
obviously.
Your classroom, folks, your classroom style over there at Fresno State. You can go to the website, find out the when next, usually around the first week of the month, depending on what's happening with holidays and so forth. But go to the website, look at the events tab, and if you like, you can either reach out to the phone number or you can schedule a time to come in even before the event. Go to Soutas.com, Soutas.com. Phone number, if you want to find out when the soonest next event is, 833-856-1382. Here's, we were talking about kind of trust and people feeling comfortable. We get it. It feels a little strange today to reach out, call a radio show, to sit and have a conversation with a financial advisor in person or over the phone. Folks, there's nothing, I'm going to say like transaction-wise, that's going to happen in a first meeting. Probably nothing that's going to happen in a second, and who knows, in a third. Imagine, let's say you're reaching out to a contractor who's going to help you build a home. The first meeting, in fact, is probably going to be a lot of
Yeah.
conversation.
What do you want it to look like?
What do you want? How big? How little? Where are we buying? What is the goal? Do we want bigger? Do we want smaller? Do we want to cultivate more of the land? What are all of the parts and pieces? And that home is going to look different for everyone.
Yeah, then you get the architect involved, you get a
Mhm.
design. Okay, it
Mhm.
looks good. You start tweaking it here and there until it's what you want. You don't, put the stamp on it. You don't say, yes, let's move forward. And that's the same way we work here. As to, helping ones too, it's like I just recently had a little lady who's in her late 70s, a widow. And, she explained that she's been getting these texts that she thinks, pretty sure that's some kind of, scam text, like
Mhm.
trying to say it's IRS, blah, 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 asking about RMDs or whatever. It's like, nope, nope, nope. IRS isn't going to be doing that way. So, the relationships are there long term. We're here to help ones. We don't want them. You don't need any more surprises once you retire, and it's a long
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
But there's a variety of people out there. I mean, when you think about it, like we were talking of who comes in to see us, who maybe should come in to see us.
Oh, thank you. Perfect question, because that was actually on my list for later. When we say call the phone number, not just, I guess, if you're worried about the markets. We're going to talk about another tool a little bit. Billions and billions of dollars have been pouring into this thing for the fourth year in a row. We'll get to that one in a little bit. But is this for somebody who's 6 months away from retirement? Is it too late to call if you've already turned on Social Security? Who is I'll say it like this, who's a primary suspect for who should call the phone number? who
Right.
who is
In
ideal
other
for you
words,
to help?
who could benefit by
There you go.
talking with us?
Yeah.
Bottom line, most anybody. I get ones. In fact, the same lady who was just I was referring to in her late 70s referred her daughter, who's maybe in her 50s, who I've actually seen, and she's working on a little bit of homework so I can start mapping some things out. And it may not be that we do anything together yet financially, and it might not ever be that we do anything financially together. We might not make a dime. That doesn't matter. But if she knows how to keep doing things for her benefit down the road, it could be people who are years from retirement. It could be you're within a few years or a few months from retiring, and then it could be even those who have retired already and want to just double check, hey, my money, is it going to last? My income, if my spouse dies or if I die, will they be okay? I mean, it's okay to just come in and have a checkup. I mean, that's why we go to, hopefully most of us do an annual doctor visit, a physical checkup.
Mhm.
It's not because, hey, we're sick. It's just, hey, is everything okay from what you can tell? We do blood work,
Yeah.
lab work, whatever. And sorry, we're not going to send you out to get blood work done if you come in to see us.
No.
We're not going to poke and prod that way. We're just going to get acquainted. It's a conversation. It's relaxed. We have, I enjoy. I mean, I never thought I would be doing this type of work when I was in high school and, looking towards a career. I never thought I would be talking in public to people. I thought I was too shy to do that.
Mhm.
And as you could tell, I am, right?
Yes.
Um,
Hiding behind the
but-
radio, though.
yeah, but I really enjoy. I really
you
enjoy
do.
what I do. I'm less than 10 minutes from my office. I get to visit with people regularly, and it's nice. And if you can actually help people along the way, that's the real bonus.
I think that's what helps it more possible to be able to come out of a little bit of your shell, if you will. It's that the experience and the knowledge and realizing that you're helping people. It's like, wait a minute, you're not just going out on a stage and like, oh, I've got to go out and be funny, or I've got to go sing a song, or I've got to go do something. You're like, when you get out in front of people, whether it's one-on-one in an office or in front of a classroom or in front of the radio, it's like you realize you're helping people. Like, you're sharing your knowledge. That's a whole different motivation.
But let's throw some other types out there that's probably listening.
Yeah. Who else should call
What
them?
if you own a business? What if you're a farmer? Maybe you've got multiple properties. You've got 20, 30 rental properties or whatever. We see a variety of people with a variety of assets. Sometimes they don't realize some of the basics that they need. Even like somebody who has their little house, they've had it and they got some kids and they got their Social Security, maybe a pension, and things are, hey, looking pretty good. Our income's decent. Things I like to verify with people in that circumstance. When you set up your pension, is it set just for you, or will it continue if you die? Especially if it's the husband who has the pension, did he set it up to where it'll continue to his wife or not? And if not, what are we going to do if you die? Will that income that she ends up with be enough for her to keep going? What about they have the house? Do they have a system where that house will transfer to their kids or whoever they want to leave it to without going to the state, California probate system for a couple years and costing, tens of thousands of dollars? If they have multiple properties, they own a business, all these kinds of things. How are we strategizing to eventually sell the business? How are we strategizing? What if your assets are actually, like I've seen it, not every day, but sometimes I've got people, they've got in excess of 30 million. If they're married, that means whatever's above roughly 30 million, if they pass away, there's going to be 40% tax on that excess. What are we doing to minimize that tax or to deal with it, or just not worry about it? Hey, kids, you're going to pay it. There's strategies. And what if the government decides to lower that 15 million per person or 30 million for a married couple down? What if they cut it in half down the road? Now you have a bigger exposure to federal estate taxation. Again, it's currently at 40%. They can always raise that. They're going to have to do something over time. I mean, people think about this. The national debt's not 30-ish trillion. It's over 100, probably over 130 trillion because of the unfunded liabilities they don't list in the official. So to lower that, to slow it down, they're going to have to drive more revenue. How do they do that? Some form of tax, not just income tax, which likely will go up down the road, but other things like the estate tax, a variety of things they can do. So how are we, planning for our future? And especially if you're young, how do you keep Uncle Sam out of your retirement savings? Use the tax-free versions. We preach that all the time too. The Power of Zero movie can really help our kids and grandkids to understand how to keep Uncle Sam out of that their retirement income. So we can provide that movie free of charge.
So who should call the phone? You. That's right, you listening to the program right now. Are you preparing for your retirement? Are you in your 40s? Are you in your 50s? Are you wondering, are you on the right track? Are you saving the right amounts? Are you in your 60s wondering, oh boy, it's getting pretty close. What can I do to try to catch up a little bit? Are you ready in your retirement? Maybe you've turned on your Social Security. You figure there's nothing else I can do. This is the best lifestyle that I can put together. Maybe we can make some tweaks. Maybe it has a little bit more to do with what you want to be able to leave to your spouse, your community, your heirs, your family. What are the open question marks about your retirement plan? That's who should call the phone number. We mean you, everybody out there. If you're listening to us, if you're hearing us on the radio, Dale and his team would be glad to speak to you about your retirement strategy at no cost to you. 833-856-1382 is the phone number for you to call right now just to hold and schedule your time. 833-856-1382. More Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas right after these bottom of the hour messages.
Will you outlive your money? It's a scary thought, but it's a real concern for many people. In our opinion, that's why it's crucial to have a solid retirement plan in place. We believe that with proper planning, you can work towards making your money last as long as you do. Don't wait until it's too late to start thinking about your financial future. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial today to learn how we can help you create a retirement plan that can potentially help you obtain peace of mind and security for years to come. Don't let the fear of running out of money in retirement keep you up at night? Take control of your financial future today. Start your Retire Your Way review and financial plan by calling 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Stock market losses have you worried? Claim your free portfolio risk report and protection review from financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial right now. Call 833-856-1382. If the recent market volatility has you worried about your retirement investments, you're not alone. Right now is the time to take action to protect your investments. Surely markets do not always rise, but if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you don't have the same time to make up for portfolio losses as you did in your 30s and 40s. Claim your portfolio risk review from Soutas Financial today. Call 833-856-1382 or go to Soutas.com. Your portfolio risk review will provide action steps of what you could do to protect your wealth from current market swings. Get your free portfolio risk review right now. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382 or Soutas.com. That's SOUTAS.com.
Is having $1 million enough to retire? For years, many have considered this to be the goal amount to have for retirement savings, $1 million. But that's the million-dollar question. Is that enough for today's modern retiree? Are you sure you've saved enough for a 25 or 30-year retirement? Are you concerned about covering large expenses, including taxes and long-term care? If so, you're not alone. But there is a solution. With a comprehensive financial plan, you can take control of your finances to help you achieve your long-term goals. With Soutas Financial, let us help you work towards peace of mind by implementing a complete retirement strategy. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial Planning right away to receive your complimentary written financial plan. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale at dale@soutas.com.
This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. As I said kind of at the top of the hour, there is a space. I'm going to go ahead and use the word right here, annuities. According to LIMRA, which is an...
Oh, no, you didn't say
Yes,
annuities, did you?
Yes, I did. I know. Don't get me in trouble. We're going to get... Everybody's going to get us in trouble for saying the A word, but people are reaching for their channels right now to change.
Oh,
Don't change that dial. Because according to LIMRA, it's an independent reporting agency on the insurance world, LIMRA says 4 years in a row, record-breaking sales going into annuities. Hundreds of billions of dollars. In fact, the 10th quarter in a row of over $100 billion per quarter going into annuities. Now, Dale, I go on the interwebs and I find everybody
I
says,
can tell you what you're going to see.
They
I
hate
have
annuities.
people regularly saying, why is everybody saying annuities are so bad, and you see, yeah.
Yeah, but then you get hundreds of billions of who's not telling us the truth? Because if everybody says they don't like them or don't get them, there are, well, not only hundreds of billions, but there's millions of people who are buying and using annuities. Where is the disconnect?
And why the 2020 CARE Act, I think it's called, why is the government now encouraging companies in their 401k plan, 403bs, TSPs, yeah. Anyway, TSA, TSV, yeah, whatever. Anyway, in your retirement plans, why are they really pushing, encouraging companies to add annuities to those programs? Now, I will also agree that you don't throw all your money into annuities. They have their purpose, but it's amazing. If I may,
would you also say that you don't throw all of your people into annuities? Like it depends.
No. But we'll talk about why is there so much negative talk? But it's funny. I had a little lady years ago come in and she we're just getting acquainted, and right away she said, my dad didn't like annuities and I don't like annuities, and that's how she. I knew she didn't have any reason to not like them, but just because Dad didn't like them. Okay. So as we worked on a plan and this and that and the other, I showed, because annuities can provide something you cannot get from your checking, savings, CDs, your stock market accounts, your typical retirement accounts that are just invested in, stocks and bonds and such. Annuities can actually create income that you cannot outlive, right? Think about it. So this little lady, she kept saying she doesn't like annuities. When I came and I showed her plan, and the plan that produced a better success rate, that her money would last past her age, roughly 80, 81, I mixed in a little bit of an annuity to give her additional income down the road on top of her Social Security and her pension. And so I didn't say it was an annuity. I was just kind of letting her see, here's the difference. And she goes, finally she goes, well, is that an annuity? I go, well, yeah. And she goes, well, remember, I told you I don't like annuities. My dad didn't like them. I don't like them. I said, okay, well, here's a notepad. Write this phone number down, 1-800-887-1213. When you get home, I want you to call that phone number. And she, well, who's that? She's writing it down. Well, that's Social Security. Call them up and let them know that you don't like annuities, to stop paying you your Social Security. And then your pension company, call them and likewise, I don't like annuities, stop paying me that money. So they have their place for a purpose. Not everybody needs them by any stretch, but why is it such a negative thing when you Google annuities online? I mean, that's,
Well,
I get asked that regularly.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's so weird. And I can take a step back, and I had a bit of that trigger reaction probably a good, I'm going to say 20 years ago now. When you come in the financial services industry, there's usually two different camps of thought. There's the portfolio folks, managing portfolios, increasing your money over time. And then there's the insurance world, the insurance space, which includes things like index universal life and annuities. But if you're truly an independent financial advisor, wouldn't you like to be able to have the entire set of tools available to you as opposed to choosing, well, this is the only one or that's the only one? Do you like to use a variety of tools depending on who it is?
Well, I mean, if you're going to hire that contractor to build your house, hopefully he has something more than just a hammer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the same thing when it comes to retirement. And unfortunately, if ones are just insurance license, and that's not bad in itself, then the most they can get you in for financial tools might be life insurance and annuities. But you think about it, you talk about portfolio managers. So we refer to it as AUM, assets under management. Okay. So we could also, like, the ones we hear about that talk about we do better when you do better. Well, they're putting your money under management, and they're going to charge a fee, and that pays the managers, and they get a little bit of it too, and that fee comes out of your money, and they get paid ongoing. And as your money grows, they're getting that same fee on a higher amount. And so that's what we call residual income. You get that income going on and on and on as long as you keep those families happy. And the more you put under management, the higher that grows. And so many, many years ago, when I studied for a stockbroker license, I was encouraged to look at getting that fiduciary financial advisor license so I could put money under management to get that fee, because as a stockbroker, you get commissions off of selling individual stocks and bonds and whatevers. And I actually got rid of that license because several reasons, but the broker-dealer pushes you to sell their products, which is not always the best for the people you're working with. But so the assets under management, for me, would build up income that I can get ongoing, and usually more over the long haul than using an annuity, because annuity companies, they want to pay you a commission up front, and that's it pretty much. And well, not even pretty much, that's how they work. So it doesn't give me residual income, but the assets under management cannot produce guaranteed lifetime income, whereas an annuity can if that's needed. Sometimes people like the growth and safety annuities, where their money can increase index-wise when the stock market indexes go up, but never decrease when the indexes go down, and have that protection. So there's a variety of annuities, and there's definitely annuities that I, stick far away from. But the things when people hear annuities have high fees or you could lose your money, they're talking about what's called a variable annuity, where you have the insurance contract that gives you income features and stuff. So the insurance company is going to charge for those features, and then you have your investments that have fees. So you typically a variable annuity is going to have high fees, and your money is at risk, whereas fixed annuities are like a CD at the bank. There's no fee and no risk. Fixed index means instead of a fixed rate, you're able to get earnings off of an exterior index your money doesn't touch. So I'm not going to try to confuse people with nuts and bolts, but they have their place. But not all your money needs to go into annuities. You need a variety, and the beauty of assets in a portfolio under management is those assets can be, managed based on your risk tolerance, and those assets can stay liquid. And you say, hey, I need X amount of dollars, and you have it within, 2 to 5 days, typically direct deposit into your account. So there's a variety of tools that should be used, for a solid retirement plan, income plan especially.
And not just choosing one set or the other, or saying one is good or bad or the other, but again, going back to kind of my cereal analogy, not all cereal is made the same. You've got everything from your bran without any version of frosted sugar on there. I don't know who in the world can eat those things. I've tried. They're terrible. Anyways, but then you got from there.
Your favorite's Frosted Flakes, isn't it?
You got from Frosted Flakes to Cocoa Puffs and everything in between, right? But, and some of them have too much sugary, and then the sugary could be the costs and the fees. So, there's different brands. It's just like there's different automobiles or whatever analogy. There's different vegetables, right? Some people, like peppers. Some people don't. But what is it that number one, what is your taste? Number two, what are you trying to do? What is the accomplishment? Are you trying to build a good salad? Are you trying to grow herbs to have something that you're going to put onto the things that you cook in the oven? What are the goals? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do? It's not just buying a tool to go, oh, I've got this thing. Now my retirement is set. It's what?
Yeah, it's like I had somebody, recently come and they asked, well, how can I make this chunk of money double, as fast as it can, or what kind of earnings can I get?
You could try putting it on red on the roulette table and see what happens.
Yeah. But the other part, really the focus when people come in, I'm more focused on if they are retired already or going to be, heading towards retirement, then how do we make sure your income will keep paying the bills? We call it a paycheck, a play check to spoil your wife, do all the fun things you always want to do. And then when the play stops, how do we keep you out of a nursing home with a care check? So we build in, I want your income plan solid. Then we worry about how to make the other assets grow and do other things. But I want you to know that you don't have to worry about money to pay the bills and keep your lifestyle first and foremost.
833-856-1382 is the phone number for our listeners to call to find out what tools you need to build the retirement your way. 833-856-1382. Call and ask for your free portfolio review with the team here of Soutas Financial. You'll be able to sit down with Dale and his team. No cost to you. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
In your retirement spending plan, which accounts do you take from first to pay your monthly expenses? Your 401ks, 403bs, or 457s, or your IRAs, or your Roth accounts, investment, or savings accounts? Do you turn on your Social Security right away or delay? Do you use the growth from your mutual funds, ETFs, or bond funds first? Did you sell your business to create income, or do you have life insurance or annuity options? Or what about using HSAs for medical costs? Are you unclear if you have a retirement income strategy at all? You have accumulated assets for retirement for years. Now you need an efficient strategy to make certain these assets work together and last as long as you need them to. Call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial for your own complimentary written income plan right away. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale at dale@soutas.com.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Coming through the news wires, the new Fed chair has been confirmed. And the reason I bring that up is there's someone in charge of interest rates. Now, they can't just move it up or down as they feel like it. There's a board of governors, so I think there's 12 or 13 other people that they have to confirm this with. But I'm curious what this might do to this fixed interest rate world. One of many reasons I think that we've seen record-breaking sales in annuities is there's finally been better interest rates than before 2020.
Right.
Do you think they might start going down, Dale?
Ooh, crystal ball. Let's see. Let me shake it around and see if it says it's
that's
an 8 ball.
That I was gonna say that's the 8 ball. It says try again.
Try again. Yeah.
That's not helpful.
I'm not even gonna guess. I don't know which way, but the fixed index annuities, basically what the companies do, they buy, usually they lock in the treasury rate, whatever it's at, and they know they're going to earn X amount of whatever percentage, right? And so all they're doing is they're using what they know that they can give you in a fixed rate to buy options on an exterior index. And if the index goes up, great, you get to participate in the upside. If it goes down, they don't buy high and sell low, so you don't lose a penny. And that's nice. Again, the caution even on looking at those, if interest rates are higher, obviously the buying power is higher. So they can offer better percentages or potential gains on these different index options when interest rates are higher. But still, if interest rates drop, sometimes the other side is that the stocks and stuff like that work somewhat inversely. Stocks may go up in value because companies can, expand and grow because they can buy money to expand and grow or borrow money, I should say. Same thing, borrow at a lower rate, so they can build. Just like people can buy homes and do many things easier, refinance at a lower interest rate, and that helps. So either way, it's not going to hurt, the fixed and fixed indexed annuity market. I just caution people on those. There's a lot of neat tools, and they sound really cool. And, be careful. You're welcome to run the options by me. If I don't care who's showing it to you, if it's good, I'm going to say, yeah, do it. But sometimes they have other fees. A plain vanilla fixed annuity has no fees. It's just a fixed rate like a CD for whatever period of time. But a fixed index annuity could have riders, that provide income or other features, or sometimes they have chronic illness riders. That's for like long-term care. So we want to look at, what are the fees, if any, in those contracts before you sign on and put your money in. And people need to understand how they work.
What if somebody already has one? What if they have something from a few years ago? Interest rates, certainly on fixed ones, weren't very good going back to the 2020s and 2019 and 18, 17. What are you stuck with it?
You might not be. I have ones where we, through the years had set up some, and we look at, can it be upgraded, improved, and we look at the options there. So it all depends. Hopefully you're not stuck with types that if you move it, you lose a big, feature that you were counting on for down the road. But typically, no, they can be, should be reviewed. And if you don't have somebody who at least annually is reviewing with you your current annuity, even your portfolio, looking at everything and making sure it's in alignment. Is that the right term?
In alignment
with your goals. Does it fit with what you're trying to accomplish? I don't.
Well, I'm gonna press you further on that, because that is one of those comments I do hear frequently. Sometimes end of your live event, or somebody said, "Well, my financial advisor, I get my updates, annually on what my investments have done." Is that the total of what you do, Dale? Is just tell people how their investments have done? Is that what financial planning for retirement is totally all about? Is just telling folks if their investments went up or down?
No, because I regularly get people who say, "Oh, this portfolio, it's, I've got 10% on it this year, 12% on it. I say, well, great.
Great. Good for you. Congratulations.
But how does it fit your whole picture? What if based on, like a good example, people say, yeah, I told my advisor to, I want to be more conservative. Okay, great. And so I analyze their portfolio. I put it through the
Dale analyzer.
Yeah, whatever the right term is. We have a process we can go through to actually see what real risk you're taking, right? And a lot of times I see people with the typical balanced portfolio, 60% stock, 40% bond is the typical balanced portfolio. And when I talk to them, they're okay, if the market drops, and if they lose, 10 or 15%, that's okay because that's not a whole lot to rebound. Yet a balanced portfolio on serious things, like back in 2007 to 2009 or the early 2000s or other times, you could lose sometimes upwards of 25, 30%. That could take a lot longer to recover. People don't realize if you have $100,000 and the market drops 30%, well, you have 70,000. That's easy math, right? So you drop 30%. If it goes up again by 30%, you don't have 100,000 because 30% of 70 is 21,000. So you have 900. Excuse me, 900.
Dale, be careful. I want to make sure people aren't driving around bumping into cars in front of them. Like, wait a minute, he's doing hard math on me.
Oh, yeah, I did it in my head. Yeah, let me kick some shoes
How about
off
this?
first.
So let $1 million.
You have 910.
Well, $1 million. $1 million. The market goes down. Let's just say
30%.
30%. Okay, so now you get 700,000.
700,000
goes back up
by 30%. You have 910,000. Okay, so you actually, if you lose 30, you have to gain almost 43% on the market just to get back up to even without growing after that loss. So people sometimes don't understand the math of the market. We go through this routine at our live events. We give details not only about how the ups and downs of the market can affect your longevity of your money lasting. How about sequence of returns? I've got $1 million. I'm just going to pull 5% off a year to supplement my Social Security or other income, and we'll be happy the rest of our lives. Well, that sequence of returns, we don't know what years it's going to go up or down. And, figure it this way. If you're taking 50,000 out when the market's up, no big deal. But when the market drops, you have to sell more of whatever you're invested in to get that 50,000 so that your money could, drop. But we show an example of, a 23-year period where it averaged 5.9%, the market. And the first example shows at the end of that 23-year period, when you started with $1 million, you had just a little over 250,000 left over. But then we flipped the returns. It's the same average, 5.9. It just, the way the ups and downs work differently, it started with ups instead of downs. And you ended up with 1.7 million at the end of that 23-year period because you and I don't know what the sequence of returns is going to be or how the market's going to be. That's not a solid income plan, just pulling from investments. Have your income solid, have it predictable, accountable. I don't want people having to, I got to, not do as much of the fun things we want to do, tighten the belt financially because the market's down. That's no way to be retired.
Yeah. Dale, we've talked about a lot today from record-breaking sales into this tool of annuities, but as a financial advisor, you've said maybe it's a good thing for somebody. Maybe you don't need it in your portfolio. Who knows? We've got portfolio management. We've talked about the emotions of making financial decisions when life event happens, whether it's starting a new job or maybe trying to wind down your business or going through a health change with our family. All of these things together are just part of the many different puzzle pieces you help people put together on their own to help them retire your way, folks. So if you would like to have a conversation about your situation, your family, maybe it's one of the hard ones. Maybe it's been about estate planning and coverage and what do we need to do. one of the biggest reasons why people finally pick up the phone is because they want to know, are they going to be okay? Have we saved enough? If that's you folks, call the phone number. Whether you're in your 40s or 50s, want to know if you're on the right track, whether you're ready in retirement, whether it's right there in the windshield in front of you and you're uncertain, call that number. It's very simply a conversation. We can do it over the phone or have you come into the offices. 833-856-1382 is the phone number for you to call and ask for your free portfolio review. You can also go to the website and schedule a time there, and you can click on the events tab and find out where you can see Dale live. Come and ask him your questions live in person. Go to Soutas.com, Soutas.com. For Mr. Dale Soutas, I'm Spike. We'll both be back again next week.
Comments regarding a particular client's experiences and outcomes may or may not be the same as another client's experience and could differ substantially, and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration or any U.S. government agency. As a valued radio listener of Retire Your Way, Dale and his entire team of retirement professionals invite you to schedule your very own complimentary retirement plan review session. 833-856-1382 is the number for you to call. If you don't have a retirement strategy mapped out that includes low-fee investment elections, tax minimization strategies, decumulation plans that will last as long as you need them to, then call for your very own retirement review session, complimentary for our valued radio listeners. Are you able to lower your taxes in retirement? Are you unclear about your Social Security, Medicare, investment fees and risk, or how to produce guaranteed lifetime income so your lifestyle and goals don't have to be changed with the ups and downs of the market or taxes? Call Dale Soutas with Soutas Financial and be confident you can retire your way. Schedule your own comprehensive and complimentary retirement review session. Don't just live in retirement, thrive. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, Foundations, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Any discussions of specific strategies are for informational purposes only and have been provided to help determine whether they may be appropriate for your specific situation. If applicable, the primary goal is converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Comments regarding a particular client's experience may or may not be the same as another client's experience and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. Foundations only transacts business in those jurisdictions where it's properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Nothing herein constitutes a recommendation that any security, portfolio, or securities or investment strategy is suitable for any specific person. No legal or tax advice is provided. Please review your retirement, tax, and estate legacy planning strategies with a legal tax professional before transacting or implementing any strategies discussed herein. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration, any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan available in your area, and contacting us at the phone numbers provided herein will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options. All rights reserved.